Hey YouTube, this is my fixing common problems on an ollie video. In some ways, I'm gonna teach you how your ollies can actually be kind of off, or well, you know what I mean. If they don't look like a normal ollie. All right, first one, and I'm gonna show you 5 reasons. First one is if you ever pop the board, but this is what happens. My feet is the ground, and you slide this part off the ground, but the back part is still in the ground. So you just do this. That just means you're not popping the back. That means you're doing this part right, and it doesn't mean you're doing actually wrong. You're just missing something. You're doing the flick right, but you're not doing the pop. Because almost every trick needs that pop for you to actually get off the ground. Our second problem is your back foot. If anybody tells you to put your back foot in the tail of the edge of the tail, don't listen to them, because that doesn't really work for people, especially if you're a beginner in skating. When you actually pop, usually your back foot can just slide out, just go out anytime. Your front is gonna move, and your back and your legs can just spread out, and that's kind of dangerous for some people. And usually it doesn't really work, because you usually are gonna land in your front feet. So that's something you shouldn't do. Third problem is if people ever tell you to put your front foot at least from here. No, that's something not everybody has a talent on, to have your foot this back, your front foot this back, because you have this much space on the skateboard. You don't really need this much space. They say it's because you can actually flick and have more air. Well, that's kind of true, but at the same time, they don't realize that you also need pop in your back. If you're on high ollies, you should start from the middle and do something like this. But you also got to learn how to pop a little bit harder, and you actually got to slide your foot even faster for you to actually ollie higher. The fourth reason, and this is a reason some people might not understand, but it's your board and your trucks. Because trucks, first of all, they make different brands of trucks. It doesn't matter. They always make different ones, if you notice. And you usually ask yourself, why do they make different ones? It's because some trucks are lighter than the others, and some can actually last longer than the others, but that doesn't really matter. Because when you start, you're not going to grind things already. I already know that. But if you're just a beginner in skating, you should buy light trucks. Always buy light trucks. And some trucks that can actually work for you are Thunders. Buy them low and buy them light, because if you buy them high trucks, then you're actually gonna have more weight in your board. And you don't really notice the weight, but it's actually true. You can test it out. Use some independent trucks from anybody, and then use some Thunders, and then see which one is going to make an ollie even easier, and it's going to look more clean. And also your deck, because if you buy a board around this size or bigger than this normal thing, this is 0.6. If you buy something bigger than that, you're actually adding more flick. So don't buy a bigger skateboard. They give you more weight and they give you more flick. So if you buy a bigger board, when you flick, it's actually going to be even harder. It doesn't matter if your your front foot is in the middle. Your flick is still going to be a lot, and you're going to have to deal with that. And the last problem, this problem is you don't usually see it in people, but it can happen to most beginners, is when you ollie and you actually get the board off the ground, but for some reason when you land, your board ends up like this. You end up sideways. It doesn't matter. You end up left, you end up right, and that's because that's something with your shoulders, and that's something you also got to notice. Skateboarding is your whole body. It's not just your feet. Your whole body and your shoulders actually work on them too. And if you don't believe me, jump. I'm serious. Jump and Move your shoulders. Don't move anything else. Just move your shoulders. Jump. Move your shoulders to the right or to the left. It doesn't matter. And you're gonna notice your feet is gonna move with the shoulders. So that's another thing. And some people don't really notice this one, but when you flick and you pump up the board, you usually move a lot. If you're a beginner, you move a lot, and your shoulders, even one little inch of moving like this can get your board to your feet to move. And since you're moving with the flick, if it's once you move like this, the board goes like this, and you need to follow it, you end up like this, or you just end up like this. And that's kind of simple to fix. All you gotta do is keep your shoulders balanced, make them even. Don't have one like this, don't have one like this, like this, like this. No, keep them even, and make your stance actually be good enough for your shoulders to not even move on. So you gotta keep them even. And when you flick, it's not really, you're not gonna move or anything. You might move a little bit, but that means you might move just a tiny bit like this or like this. It just means you're getting it right. You're getting the hang of it. And that's 5 common problems you might be able to fix if your ollies aren't working. So if you need any questions, just post them down. And alright, bye.